Yo, this is a no spoilers review of The Strangers Pray at Night, directed by Johannes Roberts. And it's about a family of four complete fucking idiots that just spend the entire movie wanting to die. And at first, I was a little conflicted about this movie because, on one hand, you won't give a shit about these characters. But on the other hand, this shit is low-key hilarious, and it's clearly paying homage to 80s slasher films. But I'll get back to that. Forgive me, I'm a little bit scatterbrained on this one, so it may lack some of my usual structure. But like I said, this is funny, and it's funny because the family is so stupid. And once you stop taking them seriously, you spend the next hour yelling at them for being stupid. Which the shit they do is so frustrating and infuriating at first, and then it just becomes funny. And here's the thing, in this case, the audience made a big difference. Had I seen this at home or by myself, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. But the audience, it got to the point where, we're all just kind of laughing together and people are yelling at the screen. And honestly, it just became really fun. But I came to realize, and I'll go into a little more details about this later, I think this movie is exactly what it was meant to be. For example, there was one scene that just was different from the rest, and towards the end there, and it catches you off guard. But that's only because of everything that's happened before that. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that they kind of set you up for certain reactions to certain things, and it all ends up being very well put together, and it works. It's very entertaining. So if you've seen The First Strangers, this was nothing like that. I like that movie, by the way. I really enjoyed the simplicity of it. So it was the same in that these people, well, strangers, I guess, they come to your house and they're knocking on the door asking for people who aren't there, and then they just kind of scurry away, and they come back and try to stab your ass for no goddamn reason later. This is the same thing, but it's different because they're not trapped in one house in one place. This family is at this little mobile home trailer park looking kind of place. And this time it's a fucking chase. So you get to enjoy the chase. So what didn't I like about it? I really just one thing, and that's the family didn't match well for me. I kept, I was like, who are these really their kids? Where did they get these kids from? Something was off about the family, and it wasn't just because their mom was a redhead. Something about this family just didn't seem like a family. And I think there may have been a reason. Maybe it was intentional. I don't know. And the daughter, the main character, she played by Bailey Madison, and she is so annoying that you really want her to get stabbed before the stabby people even show up. But that's just her character. Otherwise, I liked this movie. So about what I said about the 80s thing, the opening, the title screen was very 80s. And I noticed that. And it's very noticeable, I think. And now I realize, well, I think it was setting the tone for, like I said earlier, paying homage to 80s slasher films. But I just didn't know that going in. So at first, I was seriously like, what the fuck? But I promise y'all, I haven't looked into this, but it's written by Brian Curtino and Ben Katai. And I'm fairly certain that all this was done intentionally. I mean, the whole 80s thing, it just screams 80s slasher, the whole movie. The way it was filmed, just everything about it. And once I started to realize that this was intentional, and it becomes very clear by the end, by the way. But I didn't figure that out until about halfway through. And once I realized it, I was able to enjoy the movie a lot more. Because from beginning to end, it was straight 80s horror shit. Even the villain, well, one of them, he's very reminiscent of Michael Myers or Jason. And by the end, it's very blatant. I think there's even a little, Texas Chainsaw up in there, minus the chainsaw. And I think if I go back and watch it again, I know there's influence from even more classics. It's got to be something with the cartoon. I just can't think of what it is. So in this context, I think this was a very smart and entertaining movie. I saw the Rotten Tomatoes critic score, which is 37% right now, but I didn't read any of the reviews. I don't want their influence on my initial thoughts and reactions. I think they got this one wrong. I think they missed what was happening. And now I understand that what I picked up on in the opening was trying to tell us something. So, like I said, the context, in this context, I thought it was great. I did. I gave it a 7.5, maybe even an 8 out of 10. If you go in knowing what I just told you, and that's something you're interested in seeing, I think you'll like it. So everything else was honestly pretty average. The cast didn't blow me away. The score was pretty cool, though. The overall production was okay. There were some pretty cool scenes, very well done scenes. There was this awesome pool scene But that's my take on it. I hope I'm right. Follow me at MovieBuffChick1 on Twitter and like, subscribe.